Oh, wait, I could do that? Now look. That's a new coil pack. No, that's original coil pack. It says VW. So you got 3 new coils, new coil, old coil, new coil. And we got random misfires. And watch, here's the last cylinder. I can unplug it without actually unplugging it. So there's your misfire. I bet you all these plugs need replaced, and we'll try that. Oh, look, misfire went away. House running again? Yeah, we got connection problems.
If your car fucked up, don't panic, don't trip. With these hands, baby, I can do magic, bitch. I can fix any car on the planet, all of them. Hit my line right now, I'm a mechanic, hit me up. If your car fucked up, don't panic, don't trip. With these hands, baby, I can do magic, bitch. I can fix any car on the planet, all of them. Hit my line right now, I'm a mechanic, hit me up. Your car won't start, it's your alternator. Matter of fact, it just might be your radiator. Hold on. Or you can put some water in a little container, pour it in your car, and you can ride around.
Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about a 2013 Chevy Sonic. This right here is the ambient air temperature sensor harness plugs. So this plug here is a part of your main harness. This plug here is a part of the wiring harness that has this plug, and then it goes out a 2.5 foot wire to another plug that goes into your sensor. So upon figuring out why this AC wasn't working, look what I find. This thing has been abused. Look, you can see road scuffing like that. That is clearly signs this wire was dragging on the ground and was crushed, possibly during a parking stop, reverse scrapey-dapey. So this is why the temperature sensor was not working. So rewiring it, but there you go. Hello guys, welcome today. Not very often I come into U-Pullets for parts, but if I find anything cool, I'll be sure to show you guys what's rotting away in this junkyard. Stay tuned, maybe you'll find something good. Right here we're looking for a 5-floor Triton valve cover. Okay, a little fast forward to where I was. Valve cover had to come off. This valve cover is plastic. For anybody who's trying to do this, be very fucking careful. Prying it off was a pain in the dick. The whole thing flexes. This valve cover is a piece of crap. Somebody has broken this pipe before, trying to pull it off. Once upon a time, there's a crack in it. But I got that siliconed and puttied up, so hopefully that'll not leak oil. But overall, this thing is not that complicated to do. You got to remove, there's a tensioner and 2 idler pulleys. There's a bracket for the AC compressor that mounts right here. You can see the bolt holes missing. There's 3 of them. And as you can see, the alternator has 2 bolt holes, one there and another one on the other side that bolts go to. You take that bracket out, take all your pulleys out, your idler pulleys and whatnot. I don't think you have to remove this alternator. Someone was saying pull the alternator or just kick it back, but I can see all the timing cover bolts and that alternator is nowhere near it, so I think we're going to skip that. I don't think I had to remove the power steering pump, but I did it so I could, move these lines around and get easier access in here when I go into pull the cover off. But next thing you got to do is pull this mount off the body of the car to the engine, put a jack underneath the engine, support it so you can raise and lower the engine, pull the crank pulley off, and pretty much that's it. And then you pull the timing cover off, and then you go ahead and replace your chain. So we'll fix it. Not that big a deal. There's no codes yet. We're just doing preventative maintenance on this car, people. The water pump also is down here. That pulley right down there at your water pump on the back of the engine. So it's external belt driven pump, which is nice. This is I believe I said it before, but this is a Jeep 2.4 liter from 2010. And I'm pretty sure that the only thing different with these newer engines, the newer 2.4s, is that the airbox is on this side versus on that side. Other than that, you got to take splash guard off, wheel off, coil packs. Those are just miscellaneous bolts for everything. These little plastic pieces hold that engine cover on. They thread into the studs on the valve cover. Tensioner, idler. But so far, that's pretty much all the bolts that came out so far to get to where I'm at, including the valve cover. So, I will be doing a how-to on timing marks and how to line this up once I get it all there. This isn't really a break it all down, make it quick and simple. I'm just hitting you guys with these nitty-gritty details that are lacking online. Other than that, this thing is actually a pretty easy engine. I've been at it for about an hour now, so I'm assuming this should take about 2-3 hours of a job. Next things that we're doing to this thing too is entire rear end, suspension, subframe, control arms, you name it, we got it all. So this job's not that hard, guys. You could probably, if you have a basic set of tools, you could do this at home. You don't need any specialty tools to mess with this. Obviously, I'm not fucking with the cam phasers because no, unless the procedure tells me I have to lock it in, I'm not gonna touch them. Other than that, somebody's kept up on their oil on this thing, because I mean, she's really clean. So keep up on your oils, guy. Alright, Manny, so I got the ground wire rigged up under the hood right now. I'll show you. I'm going to send you this video so you know what I have 100% discovered now. So there is my makeshift ground wire that runs over here to our ground. So the battery is 100% grounded to the ECM, and the check engine light stays on and the relays don't flash. But what I now have, and I could make go away and come back, and I'm losing all my ability right here at our ignition. Remember, you have an ignition module, and then built into it is your anti-theft. They're two different pieces. Engine on, check engine light staying on. But watch this. The anti-theft goes out. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down here and start fucking with these wires. Well, guys, welcome to more of this crazy life I live. Yeah. Well, that's your brakes. Alright, guys, today we're gonna show you how to change a radiator in a 2004 SR5 Toyota 4Runner with the V8 4.7. First thing you want to do, as I've already done it, is go down there on the driver's side of your radiator. Let's see if I can get it. Right over there is your pitcock. So you don't even have to climb under. You just go down here. Right here. Let's see if I can show it. Yep, see, it'll be right there. So, get that, and we'll go step by step. Get yourself a pair of channel locks, obviously, unclamp top hose. Next, you're going to want to get your training cooler lines to wondering why you never buy and never start. Stay away from Walmart batteries, people. Hey guys, I am here. Like, subscribe, comment, message, spam those heart emojis. Appreciate it. My life. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting more progress. Don't worry, that's just mocking up for my adjuster bracket, which is right there, just making sure everything fits. But it's starting to look like an engine. Alright guys, here's an Edelbrock AVS2. I'm going to do a whole how-to rebuild on this. Stand by for later today. Here's a sneak peek. But rebuilding it.
If your car fucked up, don't panic, don't trip. With these hands, baby, I can do magic, bitch. I can fix any car on the planet, all of it. Hit my line right now, I'm a mechanic, hit me up. If your car fucked up, don't panic, don't trip. With these hands, baby, I can do magic, bitch. I can fix any car on the planet, all of it. Hit my line right now, I'm a mechanic, hit me up. Your car won't start, it's your alternator. Matter of fact, it just might be your radiator. Hold on. Or you can put some water in a little container, pour it in your car, and you can ride around.
Today on Redneck Bridger Performance, we get to look at this sexy full big block. Here's our oil cooler, our oil filter. Okay, it's gonna be mounted way back there, right in that little hole for oil changes. But it's starting to look like an engine again. Did a first crank over. Everything seems to be good. No noises were heard, so fire ups to come, baby. Now guys, $500 engine, and look what I find. I think we got a rebuilt motor. Those are brand new pistons. Don't roller chain, roller cam in it already. $500, got a rebuilt engine. Who would have guessed? Out of a Camaro Z28. This is how you know it's Brown certified. These nitty-gritty details that are lacking online. Other than that, this thing is actually a pretty easy engine. I've been at it for about an hour now, so I'm assuming this should take about 2-3 hours of a job. Next things that we're doing to this thing too is entire rear end, suspension, subframe, control arms, you name it, we got it all. So this job's not that hard, guys. You could probably, if you have a basic set of tools, you could do this at home. You don't need any specialty tools to mess with this. Obviously, I'm not fucking with the cam phasers because no, unless the procedure tells me I have to lock it in, I'm not gonna touch them. Other than that, somebody's kept up on their oil on this thing. Because, I mean, she's really clean. So, keep up on your oils, guy. Customer states, I put engine oil in my car and the engine's still locked up. I think you put it in the wrong hole. This is going to be out there to help anybody because there's really nothing on this Jeep online really for how-tos on how to change the rear subframe out. This is a 2010 Jeep Patriot 4-wheel drive. Actually, this thing was pretty easy. First thing you want to do is there's an 18mm bolt and nut here, 18mm nut and bolt here. There's an 18mm bolt here. There is a 18mm nut and bolt here, which bolts right here on the lower control arm. You take those off, pull the wheel bearing hub tie or trailing arm, pull the axle out. As you can see, the axle's down there. You can drop the whole subframe with all the control arms and everything bolted. There's 4 18 millimeters holding this to the frame, along with the strut. Same on the other side. Now we have 4 bolts that hold the subframe to the car. But before you do that, you got to take the drive shaft off. There are 4 14 millimeter nuts on this. For the drive shaft, you got to drop the exhaust out. There's 2 14 millimeter bolts that hold the exhaust flange to the exhaust muffler, or exhaust manifold to the flange, I should say. There's this wire here. You got to take the wire off of all these brackets on the car so it dangles with the differential. There's a plug right there. So, just got the engine back in time properly. I think we set her at about 14 advanced, which 12 to 14 I hear is best for these. This thing loves 14. Got about 80 hours into this project now. Hood's back on. Car's looking clean, man. She's ready for the road. Owns a VQ35DE engine with Nissan. I want to point out some certain things that is lacking on information on these engines. We have several issues that fail on these engines. Number one is, well, most of them are right here in this area. So number one will be our timing chain, right? So what most people don't know is that there's 3 chains in this engine. All right, you see 2 between our cams here and 1 on the other side. And we look over here, all right? So, and then you have your 3rd primary chain that goes crank to intake sprockets, all right? There's a tensioner that sits here with a plastic nipple that rides on our piston. 99.99% of the time it fails and breaks, and the plunger that's on your piston tensioner.
Achieving on my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah.
Well, I found what killed your AC, man. You see that up and down scratches in there? That is wear. It's basically like having your cylinder walls and having bad piston rings. Look at that one. See those scratches. Confirms why yours is bad. This is your old AC. It is burned up. The rebuild begins, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Listen, it's not that old people are bad drivers, or that young people are bad drivers, or that women are bad drivers, or that men are bad drivers. It's that the U.S. has a policy saying, hey, before you're 18, you need weeks worth of driver's ed training and hours worth of practice on the road to be a safe driver, knowing the rules of the road. But once you're 18, fuck all of that. Just go down to the DMV and just say, hey, I need to take a license test, and we'll test you on 10 things. And if you don't screw up those 10 things, you get a license. You get a license for...
It was just 2 lovers sitting in the car, listening to Blonde, falling for each other. Picking orange skies, feeling super childish, no Donald Glover. This call from my mother. Like, where you at tonight? Got no alibi. I was all alone with the love of my life. She's got glitter for skin.
All right, go. It's recorded.
Cam down last one.
Today on Redneck Engine Performance, we get to tickle camshafts. Jokes. Alright, so this is a 2.4 Ecotech that somebody started to do a timing chain on and never finished. Not to take the cams out and polish them because this thing was left open to the atmosphere. But a little bit of pitting. That really is just surface. It's not really that rough and I can scrape it off. I don't have a lot of faith in this cam.